Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and welcome to another edition of my Podcast with Leadership series. This is a special series where I get the industry leaders on to talk about themselves, their journey, their business, and the industry issues that are right hot topics now and into the future. And the Podcast with Leadership series is supported by Leica Geosystems. They're the 3D machine control and surveying equipment specialist. And I thank them very much for supporting this series. You can find out all about their products and services at leica-geosystems.co.uk. And today is a really good one, folks. I found Lee Gansler. Lee, you are the MD of Buckhurst Plant Hire, aren't you?
Afternoon, Peter. Yes, I am.
Fantastic. And we're recording this in the sweltering heat here at Content with Media Towers. And what was really exciting, Lee, and I'm so pleased that you decided to come on, I saw that you guys had done a really big deal, £2.5 million deal for some new equipment. And I've never known about the Buckhurst Plant Hire group and the business. So I was like, reached out and said, Lee, can you come on? Tell us about what's going on. It's a big deal, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It's, we make significant investments throughout the year, but this is, as always, a big investment for us. $2.5 million is a lot of money. So.
And what have you bought, Lee?
On this one, it's Hyundai 15-ton, 14-ton excavators and 21-ton excavators.
And that's going in because you are expanding out in the business. But before we talk about that, folks, I really want to get behind the story of Lee, because Lee is no ordinary MD. Lee, we were talking earlier before we broadcast, and you've been with the business for 20 years, and it's not even the family member. You've been in that business, working with the family for all that time. And now you're MD. Tell me a little bit about that journey and what it's taught you, Lee.
Yeah, I have been here for 20 years. When I started, John, his dad, were running the business. Just recently moved to this location in sunny Waterfoot, which isn't sunny. And then once we'd started at this location, we had around 100 machines working throughout the UK, all specialist, all tractor winches and OC Summers and Kenton's days before Balfour Beatty's took over the world. And that's the kind of equipment we were running. 20 staff, 4 wagons and 100 pieces of kit.
And you were telling me you did all sorts of jobs. So come on, Lee, where did you actually start and get to know, walking through the door, what was the job in hand?
The first time it was a hire desk. So I went on the hire desk and then I moved on to doing transport, workshop. I've serviced machines, I've washed them, went on to sales, operations, health and safety. I got my NEBOSH qualifications, and so all aspects of the business to make sure that I knew everything about the business as we went through it.
And, you've stayed with the business. And what is the reason why you've stayed all of this time with the business? And obviously you've progressed really well into the MD role now.
It's so diverse. We do everything from what we call yellow plant mini diggers and things like that, right the way through to specialist equipment for overhead lines. We've developed products, we've patented them, and it's just really diverse. Everything's changing all the time.
And that's what we need in this industry right now. We've been through a very difficult time for everybody, but the industry has really pushed on through that. And, a lot of people have been very, very busy. And one of the things you did say to me about this investment is you're growing. You're growing at a time and when the industry's growing as well. So talk to me about where you sit right now and what does the opportunity look like for you?
Yeah, in terms of growth, we've always looked to grow. And I think we doubled our size coming out of a recession back in 2008, which was an odd thing to do. So for us to carry on growing year on year and get bigger and better, our portfolio of equipment is always becoming newer, fresher, and we're getting exciting new products in. It's just a great place to be at the minute.
And I think what's interesting as well, Lee, is, we'll come into this a little bit more of the diversification of the business and what that does. But, you said you've gone from 100 units. Where do you sit now then? What kind of fleet have you?
Almost 3,000 bits of kit.
3,000 from 100 to 3,000.
Yeah.
I tell you what, they might need a bit more of your help back down in the cleaning zone with that amount of kit. Look, that I didn't know that. Genuinely, folks, did not know that figure. That is a huge amount of kit, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So not all of it's big yellow plant, it's not all 20-ton excavators, but yeah, 3,000 items.
Tell us really about the different elements of the business, because I'm used to talking to plant hire companies that are, like you say, in the yellow diggers zone, that they might have big fleets of diggers, ADTs and things like that. But talk to me a little bit more about the sort of civils, utilities, agriculture, forestry, and what you call winter preparation bit. Tell me a little bit about the other stuff.
Yeah, so the utility, we've always been in utilities. That's where John really started the business. So his very first customer, a guy called John Kelly, who's retiring soon from Balfour Beatty, asked him to provide a tractor winch. So he bought one, put it on hire, and that's how the company were formed and started. Him and his dad went out and bought several of them, and that's where we grew from. So we've always had synergy with the utility industry. And tractor winching and slip lining pipe, it's not as mainstream as it was a few years ago, but it's still there and it still happens, and that's where we started seeing our investment and growth. So tractor winches through to trailer winches, and then lining equipment for spray lining before we moved into the overhead lines and electric and the gas.
And tell me a little bit then, why the diversification into sort of the agriculture, forestry, and winter preparation? I'm going to keep saying markets.
We look at where we think the market's going, what people are asking for. So if customers ask for something, it's viable for us, we'll invest in it, we'll go out and we'll buy. It is customer led. We want to make sure our customers get what they need when they need it. So winter equipment, when it snows in Scotland, a lot of our customers, it snows pretty heavy, down in Kent and the West Midlands don't see too much, but in Inverness and Aberdeen, there's quite a bit. We do need equipment for them.
And what kind of equipment have you got there with that sort of winter preparation?
We have a lot of snow blowers that fit on tractors,
yeah,
snow plows, gritting equipment. So it's simple equipment really that we can fit onto agricultural spec equipment. Right. Even the airports take it from us. So it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So within the forestry and agriculture sectors, are we just talking tractors, or again, are we talking specialist pizza kit, take trees down and strip them and things like that? What are we talking about?
No, mainly the agricultural equipment is used more in the utility sector for us. So right. Some of our big clients take tractors and trailers for towing equipment on site, gravel carts for dispensing stone into open trenches, things like that.
Oh, that's cool. And you mentioned Inverness and Kent and everything like that there, Lee. So you are totally national then, are you, as a business? And do you have branches in different areas? And I know you've invested in a new Wellingborough facility recently as well. What's that all about?
Yeah, we looked at the opportunity to move further south. So we have depots in Aberdeen, Bathgate, which is in between Glasgow and Edinburgh. We've got Rosendale, which is just north of Manchester, Leeds city centre. And we wanted somewhere further south to really look after the clients that we already had, as well as look for new clients after that. So Wellingborough was a good fit. It's East Mids kind of area where we wanted to be. It bridges a gap between Leeds without travelling too far. It's an ideal location to put us where we wanted to be.
And I think